Okay, I'll go to the pulse build that I use for Razorback next. Yeah, Naylor, I mean, I might do some reading and try and find that out. I'm going to assume it does, and I know I can hit pretty hard with the Fenris, the Fox Prayer, the 3 Providence, and the Grupo. I can do about 3/4 to almost a full weak point on my own. Without it, with the Contractor's Glove, I do about half weak point damage. So I know at least the Fenris makes a big difference, and I'm going to assume it wouldn't do that much damage without the Fox Prayer. But getting back to my jammer now, I actually have 2 different ones. You can see the jammer here and jammer 2. I'll go over the first one first. The guns don't really matter in this one. I try not to shoot things. I mean, I can shoot things, but I try not to grab aggro from anyone while I run around. We use the crossbow one because we're going to be on circles. We're going to use the crossbow and pulse right away from it. So these are just the guns that I have on most of my skill builds or whatever. Like I said, I like the EV, so I use it. You could use Scorpio so that you could status effect somebody along the way, or not use a gun at all, because your DPS will do way more damage than you. But it is nice to be able to kill like a red bar if he comes too close or stuff. So Capacitor, I think, also works really well for it. But basically the weapons are whatever you prefer. With the jammer build, we want the 4-piece hardwire so that we can reset the skills. I personally like to have the chest and the backpack for it. I go with the Hannah U glove. I used to have it on the knee pads, and what I do with this build, it's got a little more protection than my other build. The other build will have glass cannon on it. With this one, I'm using the hardwire chest, so I don't have glass cannon. Everything has to be rolled with max skill damage. The skill haste isn't quite as important because you can always reset it, but I still like to sometimes just be able to rely on the skill haste. It also helps get the heal charges back faster, so I do have everything to skill damage and skill haste on it. The Hannah U for the extra skill haste as well is what I'm using, and then the Wyvern for the extra damage, and again skill haste and skill damage on it. I originally had the hardwire on the glove and I had the Hannah U knee pads, but with this build, every so often I'll stop, go into my menu, switch over to the BTSU, pop my hive, and what was happening was by having the hardwire on the gloves, sometimes I would forget because a bunch of stuff happened during Razorback. I would forget, and I would forget to switch back to the BTSU, and then I wouldn't kill the drones. I wouldn't be able to get my reset back, and the whole team would wipe. So to solve that, I've put the hardwire on the knee pads. If I ever forget to switch back to the BTSU, chances are it's going to stun all the drones, but I can just drop the hive, reset the cooldown on the pulse, and pulse again. There are times that this build has just killed the drones straight out. It seems like you can crit the drones and make it work, but it's not consistent. So I still prefer to go to the Hannah U ones, just to get that extra bit of damage. The BTSU gloves comes with repair skill, not skill damage, and because of that 10% difference, it seems to be enough that it doesn't always kill the drones. Going with the way I had it before, if I just set it up that way again real quick. When I did this and I needed to reset hives, I would go into the menu. It was really quick to put the BTSU gloves on. I would break the skill, click on it, and hardwire is the first one. I I have two BTSU gloves, but that's got me in trouble before, so I'm actually going to put one away. But so that was the nice thing about having it on the gloves is BTSU and Hardwire end up being the first ones on the list, so you just have to tap down and X. If it's Hannah U are the gloves, I've got to scroll past some of my other stuff, my other sets to get to it. So we'll see how that goes. Haven't tried it this way too much, but typically, like I said, you're not shooting things, so it's okay to take the time to do that. The second jammer I use has glass cannon on it and BTSU gloves up the whole time. So the advantage of this one is it has enough damage to always kill the drones, and I can reset hives anytime that I want. The downside to it is by running glass cannon, I take extra damage. So I run this one when I know that all the corners, everyone's going to be cleaning up their ads really quickly and really easy. If I'm not sure that the corners are going to kill all their ads really quickly, and I think that I'm going to be running around with a bunch of ads all around me, I go with the other one because I take less damage.